Martin, I appreciate it's becoming a bit repetitive, perhaps.
Can I interrupt?
Do you want to issue a statement?
Yes. And you will be relieved to know that this is definitely it for tomorrow evening. So, yeah, I've been assured of it by the board. So, yeah, the new man will come in. I'm not sure in terms of the process, but I know that this is definitely my last game. I see that look in your face as being delighted, So great.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that was the remit coming in to do it. Whether it was going to last 2 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks, that was always going to be the case. So yeah, I've got no complaints at all.
Is clarity as well then this time? If it seems that you're sure of it, you know what you're walking into. You know this is where.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely great. Yeah, so it's not a continuation. Young gentleman's coming in, and and it's over to him. But obviously we've got the big game here tomorrow evening, and I obviously like to try and win it if we can. It won't be easy. Dundee did us a few weeks ago, so we've got a bit of a job in our hands.
I know you've been keen to not make it about you, but I do think the fans will enjoy the opportunity to say goodbye at home. Is that something you think you will enjoy when it comes round to it?
Well, it is. Listen, it's not this idea that you push everything to the side and say it's not about you. Every manager, everybody has an ego of some description, no? So, and mine is probably bigger than most, but so. It's about trying to win the game really, and whatever comes or goes after that. I just think the nice thing about the players is that they have responded, and they've shown a willingness to try and implement some of the things that I think are important about the game. That's really it, and some have maybe even been reluctant to do it. I don't know, but no, I'm joking. They've been great, obviously, and I couldn't praise them highly enough. But we've got one more game to go. For me, they've got big matches ahead, so those games are really important to them. But no, the response has been terrific.
Marty, are you the emotional type? You see yourself getting emotional tomorrow night? You just say goodbye?
Me, no, not at all. And I think I was asked this question, was it yesterday? And no, I will obviously, if we could get a result, if we can, I would just reprimand my wife for saying that she thought I would mess it all up, but I have no problem with it.
And what does it look like for you? What have the board told you happens after Wednesday? Are you going to speak to the incoming manager about your thoughts on the squad, where they're at, everything like that? Is there a handover at all?
That's a very good point. I have no objection to him coming in and asking me my opinion, and it will be an opinion. It won't be advice. And of what I have seen in the last number of weeks, and if he chooses to ask me, I would have no problem with it. But I certainly wouldn't be putting any demands on him. He's got a job on now. He'll be focusing on himself and his own particular staff and his own manner of coaching and his own personality. So all of those things, he won't need my help in that sense. But if he was looking for an opinion, I've got no problem giving him it.
If I was to ask you now, what do you think this team needs for the rest of season 10?
Oh no! I will let him ask me.
Okay, you say that.
Okay. No, I'll save it for him.
But you do feel that, I mean, since you've come in, won so many games, the team have closed the gap at the top, with the cup final coming up.
Yeah.
There's a chance going through in Europe as well. You do think this can be a really successful season, silverware-wise, for the team?
Of course, yeah. I mean, in recent seasons, I think that Celtic at this time of the year would probably be well in front in the league. They would have things to concentrate on. Like last season, it was great because they had the Champions League, and they could put a bit of focus on that. And when domestically, when teams were dropping off, that was great news for them. But here we've been chasing. We've been trying to chase Hearts down, and Hibs, who showed on Sunday, that we got. If you think about it, I know it was quickly after the Thursday night game, but Schmeichel's made a big save for us again at an important stage. We've got the goals. What I think I said on Sunday, and I still say it now, is that we showed a bit of durability and a bit of resilience in a game in which just after the penalty could have gone against us.
How much of your you talked about your impressions of the squad when you arrived from afar. How much has that changed since you've been in amongst them and since this process has gone on?
Right. Again, I think that's a really good point. I'm not sure what. When I was watching Celtic from afar, as you mentioned, I didn't. You can form an opinion about players, and then find out that when you're actually working with them, that's different, either good or bad. For instance, the captain, I thought from afar that the captain was a really good player. I didn't realise how good he is, and those type of things I think help. Some players who have played almost every single minute of games here have been absolutely outstanding for us. And then you're getting to know some players. And I said to some of the lads, Balaquisha hasn't played under, next manager step in, play him and find out he could be the best. This is the point. And I've made that point to him. So, and that's for, other managers will have, or the incoming manager will have maybe a difference of opinion on some players that I would have. That does not mean I'm right.
Martin, remember when you told us that when Dermot Desmond spoke to you, basically said you've got 10 minutes to decide. Mm-hmm. Are you pleased that you actually said in those 10 minutes yes, given where you've taken the team? Yeah, well, I asked for an hour when he mentioned the 10 minutes, and I took 45 minutes. But I'm delighted. Obviously, I said on Sunday, it was the fear of failing that was a concern. But if you don't take the opportunity, it'll never be presented to you again. And the opportunity to come back here and manage 25 years after I started was remarkable, really, in that sense. So if you're asking me, yeah, delighted that he asked me back, and up until today, delighted with the outcome. What is there any disappointment at all that you won't be leading the team out in the cup final?
No, you might think I'm just saying that to you, but no, not really. Again, I get back to the point. Delighted to have the number of games I had. There was a point when I thought maybe that they might even make the decision in the international window. So I've got these games, and just I think for us to win in Feyenoord was big. And this does sound really patronising. I just think a result like that there for Scottish football helps as well too. I always seem to be thinking of that there way back in my time, my first time as a manager, particularly when we beat Blackburn and Liverpool. Those were good nights. And so you always feel as if the results in Europe for any of the SPL clubs would be good news for us, because the coefficient is dropping like a stone at the moment. So those things can help. But but domestically, I'm every bit as delighted.
Just on Scottish football, Martin, if you do have that conversation with Wilfred Nancy, what would be the biggest take that you could give him in terms of what he can expect, both from the league and indeed the club?
Will it be unfair of me to give you that answer when I didn't tell this young gentleman here? They did absolutely, just in a different way. Exactly. And there's no way that I'm going to answer that there. You ask first, young man. And so, exactly. So, buzz off.
Politely, I will. But in terms of the job that, people talk about
you're going at it again.
The enormity of the club. I'm talking about the enormity of the club. For someone that's coming in from transatlantic.
Well, I think the first thing that you should do is to just check the history of the club. And there's something. For instance, even when I went to Wycombe Wanderers, I knew that Wycombe Wanderers were a really top class amateur team, who I think had played in an amateur final in front of a very, very big crowd at Wembley, around about the time I was born. So I kind of knew these things, and I think it's your job to find out a bit of history of the football club, But so I'm not teaching him his job. he'll know that, and I'm sure he'll have done that.
What does the future hold for you?
All right. Other good question. Yeah. Did you ask that first? Did you?
No, it was him.
I, don't, I really don't know. Honest, I really don't know. I'll have time to think about it. I will have a few days and see how it goes. Maybe it's my last opportunity to say that the coaching staff have been terrific for me and to me here, and they, while I'm, I can do what I want. Really, it'd be nice to see those boys find their coaching ability, which has been really terrific, somewhere, if it's not with the incoming manager, who I'm sure will have his own squad, and quite rightly so. He'll have his own people, because that's the way you would want to do it. But so we'll see. Getting back to your point, what a distance from afar, so I can watch from afar.
I think you mentioned about Callum, how impressive he's been. It's just like every manager that has worked with him says that. He stands out from the rest. What is it about him that stands out from the rest?
Well, he's, I've had different types of captain. Paul Lambert was a really great captain here for me, and I've had Gareth Barry at Aston Villa. I've had a number of characters, and obviously at Leicester's big boy called Steve Walsh, really great captain, all in their own way. But Callum does. He not only does he lead by example, but he is vociferous as well too during the course, and he has got the utmost respect from all the team, the utmost respect, and that goes for all of us here at the club.
Can I just ask about team news? Is there any changes from the weekend?
Well, we'll have a look now. Kieran's foot's or his toe's getting better. He got the toenail removed, which was pretty sore for him, but he did get an injection, and each day it's getting a bit better. And so we're with the players that we have. Obviously, the long-term injuries are still there, and that's not going to change for the next couple of months. But so we're going as strongly as we can.